Right. So welcome back. How we doing? What's your first time here? How you doing? So today we got that they are destroying our civilization. By Lungs of Faith, shout out to him. We watch him just about either once a month, once every 3 weeks. It's one of the two. He makes great videos. Again, I would truly advise you to sub on his channel if you like more Christian content based stuff. But he will be in the link description below. Like the video, comment down below what you think. Hit the link for up on the socials, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, other YouTube channels, Body Cam, all that stuff. Turn on notifications, sub up. Comment down below what you think about this. Again, from the thumbnail, I think I get a little bit about what he's saying here. Let's go.
Daughter's a princess, she can do no wrong. And if you want to come to my house trying to date my daughter, you better be ready to face off with the twin eyes of my double-barreled shotgun. Meanwhile, his daughter last Friday on someone's yacht.
No, not a yacht, more like a frat party. More like a frat party.
And here we are, still cleaning up the mess left for us by our previous generation. The same men who call young guys losers for not getting...
Dude, this one clip I have him annihilated this guy. Not like in a rude way, it's like, he's trying like, Allah is nothing in this saying, I rebuke it. It's like, brother, it just is a different language of saying God, dude.
Married, buying a house, and starting a family by 23 are the same men who raise today's women. And if it needs to be said, they did a awful job.
Retard boomers and Gen X.
They raised their daughters to expect worship and then mock young men for struggling to want to marry the result. And better yet, we already have the next generation of simps carrying on their legacy. But why is this happening? The architects of the sexual revolution, no-fault divorce, modern psychology, and corporate feminism openly told us what they wanted to do to the...
And a lot of these people are watered down trad, like they're trad wife feminists, and it's like, I'm not with that dog shit. With that trad wife feminist trad wife shit out of here. You're a watered down feminist trad wife. I don't want none of that.
The traditional household. So today we're exposing the media, the corporations, the foundations, the psychologists, and political movements that have spent the last 100 years quietly dismantling the traditional household and replacing it with the simp economy. And this is why. It becomes a lot easier to understand the modern dating crisis and why it's so hard to find a partner when we understand a simple economic example. The dark truth is that every female vice that becomes profitable has a male customer somewhere behind it. Either the father, the husband, societal hive mind, or the state. And the first two have been essentially castrated by the latter two with things like no-fault divorce, where a woman can divorce you whenever she feels like it, and Child Protective Services can take away your kids whenever they see you are actually being a good father. This is legally placed man no longer at the head of the household, but at the...
Yeah, again, like, when people say this, I saw this, and someone argued, like, someone's argument was, I've never seen, like, feminists, because it's supposed to be equality, or say that, yeah, I actually want the men to be court ordered to spend time with their child and pay for their stuff. I've never seen that. And it's like, yeah, you know what, that's a fair point. That is a fair point. Disagree, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Disagree or agree in the comments.
Mercy of his wife and children. We'll go into examples later, but this legal setup has naturally brought about the simp. Think about the dating market like an auction. Female attention is the asset now, and men keep bidding against one another. One man offers flowers, the next offers vacations, then the next one pays her bills, then the next one accepts public humiliation, another subscribes to her content, and each bidder raises the prices while demanding less in return. We call this simpflation. You see Sophie Ray posing in a mansion claiming extraordinary earnings from OnlyFans.
Fake.
On the surface, it looks like one woman becoming rich by selling sexuality, but that's only the storefront. Behind it is an entire market of men purchasing messages, fantasies, and simulated intimacy.
inflated.
When a woman publicly disrespects her husband, people focus on her behavior. They rarely examine the man behind her who tolerates it, explains it away, and attacks anyone who notices. Look at Piers Morgan.
But now, we've been asking this morning, would you ever take a marriage sabbatical? Journalist Celia Walden did just that with husband Piers Morgan.
Of course, the predictable.
When my husband comes away, Mr. Studs comes to play. And she was talking about wanting to bang a pool boy. Yeah, he got fried for that, right? No, regardless of the fact that you like collab, but when he brought that up, he got fried. Like, he legit was getting fried and, like, kind of embarrassed.
Twitter responses to the...
It's kind of, I mean, what with Andrew Wilson? Have we been seeing that? People talking about his wife and, you know, all this stuff, and then he was attacking her. You look sniz! You look sniz! After, like, she was stating a fact, and he was just got emotional. It was like, calm down, man.
My piece about sabbaticals, saying, well, if I were married to Piers Morgan, it would make it a very, very long sabbatical.
And when another man brought it up in an interview, Morgan walked off the air.
Yeah, this is it.
Rather than confronting
it's HS Tiki talking.
humiliation himself.
Listen, sir, I don't know why you come on and you talk like you're holier than thou. As soon as you're away,
All right,
who's this? Applications are open.
All right, let's just
That's your ting, bro. That's your girl.
Let's end this, please.
Yeah, Piers Morgan. What? When my husband's away, Mr. Subs comes to play.
Good.
You know what? I'm not doing this. Sorry, guys.
That is the hidden balance.
Yeah, it's the emotional man thing. Not Andrew Tate. Was your Andrew? Freaking red pill, dude. The Crucibles, whatever. Yeah. Your wife has what? 2 baby daddies. You like fucking stis. It's like
sheet. The woman records the revenue, the man absorbs the loss, and if he ever stops providing exactly what she wants,
chimping out over nothing.
No-fault divorce does allow her to simply get up and leave, which has already happened to him before with his previous wife. And because enough men keep paying, defending, and competing, the market keeps rewarding worse and worse behavior.
Millionaire husband bought me my own private island just
Akash Singh.
so I could wear whatever I want and feel safe and comfortable in seclusion. If he wanted to, he would, girls.
Dude, the damn filter is so like it's like it doesn't even look real.
And worse behavior.
Millionaire husband bought me
Like you look like AI.
my own private island just so
Look how like unreal she looks compared to him. You can at least see his beard, you can see his skin. She doesn't like look legit. Like if you rubbed her face, it would feel like nothing because it doesn't look real.
I could wear whatever I want and feel safe and comfortable in seclusion.
Oh my god, the filter's outrageous. It's struggling, bro. It's on the struggle bus, man.
If he wanted to, he would, girls. I set the boundaries and he matched me.
The dark truth that nobody wants to admit is that women like this. I mean, they really, really like it. The standard neoconservative explanation that you hear from guys in that world is that feminism simply brainwashed women. That they are helpless victims who secretly want marriage, children, and domestic life, but have been manipulated away from their true desires by the evil patriarchy, apparently.
The births to women in their 20s have declined. Rates for women in their 30s and 40s have risen modestly. This is the consequence of feminism, where these women are told that they should put off having children, put off getting married, prioritize having a career, but it's not even totally their fault. Not even totally their fault.
Oh, it's so horrible. Someone stop these simps from sending me millions of dollars for posting pictures of myself. But don't worry, sweetheart. Conservative media is here to give you a second life. That explanation is comforting. It gives us the false sense of hope that maybe if we just logically convince these women that what they're doing is bad and wrong, they'll just stop doing it. That's also incomplete.
I mean, who, like, you guys saying in the conservative states, who do they got? TPUSA? Fucking garbage.
It take a while to catch up, essentially, to what we're seeing in culture, but we've got to make some...
I'm being real, like, all these people that, like, are in the space, more or less, are absolute trash. You look at their life, they're straight hypocrites, like, you know, hypocrites. Like, more or less, the majority of them aren't married, don't have kids, they're like straight up hypocrisies, aren't really the conservative trad thing, whatever. Like, straight up, like, it's crazy, man. If you once you see it, you see it. It's like, oh my goodness. It's like you look at the line now. There's a few that aren't, but it's like you look at the line. It's like, ugh.
Big
You don't need to
structural
convince women.
Speaking of,
So women are the most easily indoctrinated, most easily propagandized out of the sexes. Okay, every single study you look at will tell you
They're
this. They're the
retarded.
most easily influenced,
they are retarded. Saying coming from him, he did say it. He did say it.
right? That's why all the marketing
saw the clip, remember,
is towards
in
women
chat?
because they buy shit that is insane. Pink razors, you charge a premium for because women will buy it. Why? Because it's pink, right? It's sparkly. But what it really is Susan down the road has one.
Yeah.
Okay, and if Susan has it, she's pretty awesome. The other girls like what Susan's doing, so I'm going to do the same thing.
And surprise, surprise, Susan down the road wants to around and have a career. When you look at the statistics, modern women do not merely feel
That's
unable
fair.
to have children. They flat out do not want them. They do not merely lack the opportunity to stay home. They do not value that life enough to choose it. Among young adults without children, only 45% of women say they want children someday, compared with 57% of men. And among adults under 50 who say they are unlikely to have children, 64% of women say a major reason is simply that they do not want them. That is not merely economic pressure.
Yeah, but like, who are these people? You gotta understand, like, some of these people are like living straight, like, non-reality, because you'll like look at these people they look up to, and when they get older, it's like all these people are literally straight fiending to have children, or like fiending for relationships. It's like, oh my gosh, or they actually don't. Like, there one girl, what was her name? She's like, city girls, like, she doesn't want her daughter doing it. It's like, the people you're looking up to are like legit ruining your lives, and because they're the lucky 1% that can make it out because they are rich and successful. You're just gonna be the broke, watered down, shitty version of them. You're never gonna make it. They're gonna make it because they got a mansion. You don't got millions, and you gotta wake up and work every day.
Sure, it is a stated preference. The number of children young women plan to have has also collapsed. Among women ages 20 to 24, planned fertility fell from 2.3 children in 2012 to only 1.5 in 2023. The share who either already had or planned to have at least one child fell from 93% to 66%. Likewise, 46% of women say that an enjoyable career was essential to a fulfilled.
But you gotta understand, where were we at? Like, I don't know the years on this, but like, they were telling us the world is overpopulated. Like, stupid ass Bill Gates and shit was telling us, right? The world is overpopulated. Stop using all your resources when you have a private jet, right? When you have security. It's like, by the way, like, don't use all these resources. But I'm sorry, we're going off a tangent here. But it's like that, like, a lot of propaganda was pushed, man.
Fulfilling life, while only 17% said the same thing about marriage, and only 22% said it about having children. So no, women are not simply standing outside the traditional life, desperately waiting for some white knight hero to come and rescue them back into it. Sure, feminism lied to women, but now they are voting for it. And this is part of the problem. A lot of people think that we really have freedom, but are you really free? A lot of people say that they want to pray more, get in shape, read, work, and spend time with the people they love.
7 out of 10. 7 out of 10, I'll give it to you. It had me. I got into some context clues. I saw the bar at the bottom. 7 out of 10 ad rolling. You jabbed me right in the face, but I did weave the hook. Good work.
Then
I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, people in the chat. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
proceed to lose hours every day scrolling through apps that leave them more distracted, more lustful, and less present. Some estimates say that people are spending more than 5 hours a day on their phones. That is over 75 full days of life every year. That is why things like Reset exist. Reset will block out all unproductive and lustful apps and essentially force you to complete good habits instead. Turn the blocker on and the addictive apps get locked away. No relying on willpower while Instagram, TikTok, or whatever else is constantly calling your name. Instead, screen time is earned back by doing things that actually matter. Prayer, going for a walk, deep work, sleeping properly, and taking time off your phone. One of the best features is the prayer option. Instead of going back into Instagram after being unproductive and falling into lustful content, Reset can require prayer first to help keep people focused. So when you do scroll, it is not just mindless, you actually earned it. If you are serious about overcoming lust and no longer wasting your life on those apps, Reset is built to help give some of that life back. Hit the first link in the description or pinned comment and download Reset and use code FAITH. The QR code is on screen now. Now, if you don't believe me that the post-sexual revolution dream is simply the life that women now are voting for and wanting, take the world's largest podcast.
Honestly, that app right there, yo, wouldn't be that bad. I mean, I don't know what it does and how it works. It'd be different for me. Like, I actually like the app in like of trying to cut off the parasites of, you know, your desires. It may be harder for me because I'd be like, oh, I gotta upload, so.
Podcast for young women, Call Her Daddy, where Lucy Hale revealed her best relationship was with.
This has gotta be, I think only the CIA could pull off the Call Her Daddy podcast. Obviously, I'm joking, right? I'm a conspiracy theory nut job. I'm dumb as shit. I have a low IQ, lower than room temperature. I have a negative IQ. I'm the first person and the dumbest person on earth, right? This is all alleged.
Simply the life that women now are voting for and wanting. Take the world's largest podcast for young women, Call Her Daddy.
Only the CIA can pull off this shit. I'm telling you, there's no way this is real. No way. The CIA has to be involved with this, right? I'm just joking.
Daddy, where Lucy Hale revealed her best relationship was with a drug addict and a drunkard.
Boyfriend after that, God, it was the most passionate relationship of my life and the most toxic. He was a drug addict. He was an alcoholic. I learned habits from him. We were a perfect storm. But there's also a lot of love there. That was also a deeply scary time in my life. I was like, oh.
Can you share some?
This is the definition of why people don't need to have podcasts, because no one needs to hear this shit. It's between you and God. I hate to be real. We don't need to hear about your sex stories and all this jazz.
Some of those habits?
Day drinking a bottle of wine before bed every night. At that point, I had never done a drug, and that was like when I was like, oh,
good.
I kind of like how that feels.
I kind of like fentanyl.
Yeah, it was a lot of just self-neglect, and it was like the day drinking thing. That was when I was like, oh, you can drink the day after? Huh, I never really thought about that.
She even says she was also terrified of it, but she enjoyed it because those types of relationships are quote-unquote more exciting than normal ones.
Oh, the people that love chaos, and in 30 years they're going to complain where everyone's at. When the people that don't like chaos, they're probably married, having a good life, you know. But it's again, like, this is what I'm telling you, like, if you're going to be the person doing all this in your 20s, and expect someone that doesn't like that to settle for that and for you when you're in your 30s, you're fucking ridiculous. You're mentally crazy. The CIA has pulled off the biggest psyop in the world, breaking Operation Mockingbird. They pulled off something you could never figure it out. You're freaking smoking meth. If you think, I hate to be rude, if you think after going crazy, becoming a drug addict, sleeping with a whole bunch of men, doing all this in your 20s, thinking a guy, and then thinking when you're in your 30s, now you want to settle down with a guy that's been working hard, doing all these actual things to improve his life, compared to you've been sleeping around, completely doing nothing. If you think that guy's going to settle for you, I think you might be a drug addict. I think you're smoking meth again. I think you might be day drinking. You might be lying to us that you're off of all of this stuff.
But also, you know, those types of relationships are the most exciting. Like, the most passionate, like, whoa. Like, this person, I think, I'm like, if I were ever to be in a room with him now, it's still one of those people where I would be so, I'm equal parts terrified of him and deeply attracted to him.
So crazy. I had one of those where it was like, he was definitely into drugs, and there's like a thrill element.
She's married, by the way.
And of like the instability, like this person does not have their shit together, and it's like every day is fucking different, and it's this like exciting rush, and it's also what you don't realize is it's like uncomfortable fear that.
By the way, this is like how a drug addict decides how they get addicted to drugs. I'm just letting you know, like, you think I'm crazy until like 15 years later, all this shit's gonna be blowing up and being exposed. This shit is out. This is ridiculous. Like, people that live this life are legit hypnotized, and they gotta wake up.
Like, you are thinking is like attraction, but you're also like, you're my body telling me like I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah,
and
it's exactly
crazy.
that. Like, my nervous system the whole time I was with him was like, I did not regulate my nervous system for a full year, but I also loved that because I
Yeah.
told you I loved chaos.
And this further proves the thesis that propaganda is everything. These girls know these relationships are bad.
Internet hypnosis brain at its finest. These are if not these are the shot callers, or these are at the highest D1 or whatever, 5-star, whatever you like to say, Hall of Famers of internet hypnosis brain. But this is like late stages of it. I think anyone that goes on our Call Her Daddy podcast or even listens to it are late stage drones and late stage internet hypnosis people. They're falling like ants, like dead ants, dude. It's like, golly, if this is like legit noise pollution, and this is, I keep on saying this, I think if the United States had Call Her Daddy podcast back when all this shit happened, you know, terrorists and all this, and they kidnapped one of the head terrorist guy, and he played this, he would tell all the secrets before this podcast is over. Like, cut this shit off. Here's where the bombs are coming from. Here's where these are. Here's where the men are. Here's where the operation. Here's who funds us. Here's how this. Here's this is work. Here's this. Cut this off now. Oh my gosh, my ears are bleeding. You know what I'm saying?
They just told us, but they also told us they don't care. Because for women, desire is not formed by logic alone. It's shaped by repetition, imitation, and cultural permission. When women grow up on smut, chaotic
I'm obviously just, you know, having fun.
romance novels and crime.
The B movie? Yo, like, are we talking? Remember the B movie? That was straight propaganda. I don't know how Hollywood pulled that off.
Shows that glamorize dysfunction. Those patterns can begin to feel not only normal, but desirable. Once the hive mind labels something exciting, empowering...
Bro, like, what's all the, like, if we're gonna be real, like, nowadays, what's all the, like, movies with the girl boss? Like, what is it always, like, they sleep with, like, either some, like, some homeless guy or their boss, and they become, like, the freaking, like, you know, the freaking... You know, the freaking girl boss, and they start accomplishing things, and then they break up with like their hometown ex who really loves them, and then like they live happy. You know, it's all Disney, like straight propaganda. Like that's more or less majority of the plots of these. Like I don't watch movies like that, so I can't really speak on like newer ones, but like that's more or less like from older ones and all that stuff. All that propaganda, that was more or less the storylines of most of them.
And romantic, logic and facts take the back seat. A commenter notes, women like excitement more than they like stability. This is something that men have trouble grasping. You live in a time where women do not need men for money and safety. Women live safe, comfortable, and boring lives where the most interesting thing she has going on is shopping and celebrity gossip. If you can provide her with excitement, she will want to be around you, even if you have nothing else going for you. As a man, you have to understand that money, stability, how nice you are, etc. are all secondary to excitement. Another notes, women will...
Excitement? It's like, dude, imagine selling your life away for excitement. You know who would do that? Someone says like, that's an addicted to excitement. Like, what is so excited about being broke, being homeless, on the verge of being homeless, being drunk, being, I don't know, strung out every night, sleeping with some dude you know you're not going to marry, or if you have a baby with him, you know it can go sideways. Like, what is the thrill of that? Like, to me, again, that has to be propaganda. Like, I'm telling you, anyone that thinks that's a thrill is living, I don't know, like, you are psyoped to a point where I think, honestly, I'd rather have an AI take over your body. I think if an AI would take over your body, it honestly probably, it might be better. I think people that think like that, we might as well just put a brain chip in their brain. I mean, like, what's going to be the difference? You at least might, know something, be like, hey, Gemini, what is this? Oh, they can at least spit out facts. Like if you have a conversation with someone, without that, they might still be dumb. So maybe the AI might help them. See, maybe this is what AI is for. People like that.
post this S and then wonder why the entire planet and every major religion has imposed strict social restrictions on their sovereignty since the dawn of time in every place humans have ever lived. But all it shows in reality is that ancients and moderns have a very divergent view of anthropology, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Women initiate around 70% of all divorces in the US, which is consistent across multiple studies, including Stanford research and recent 20...
And it's 100% divorce rate and breakup rate with women in a lesbian relationship.
In the 6th report, and guess what? A major driver is lack of excitement, emotional connection, or passion. Oh yeah, but they're gonna be miserable cat ladies and they're gonna regret it when they're older and they're gonna have mental health issues. Yeah? So? Did you ask if they care? Like, let's pause it. They don't get married. So what? What are they missing out on?
They're gonna be running straight. They're gonna hit the peak of... This is like with actors and stuff. Like, it's such the playbook. They either try to become like a virtue signal person who's trying to stand up for things that are straight trash, that lead them to exactly where they're at, or put on glasses, start like maybe get a PhD, go to school, start thinking they're smarter than what they are, and start going on podcasts and like become like a philosopher. You know what I'm saying? So like that's dang near the what you call it, the playbook of those. It's not, there's more options to that, but like that's the majority of them. Like when it comes to actors and celebrities, when they live the life of like, legit like lustful, doing all this stuff. And then when they hit the age of like 45, they start going on podcasts, start speaking, and it's like, hush up.
Right now, this second. Not 20 years later, not 30 years later, not when they're old and single, but right now. They can start an OnlyFans account, make millions of dollars, have simps bail them out of their problems, get celebrated online, get invited onto podcasts, get treated like victims, coast scot-free, and if none of that works out, they can join your local evangelical church. And this is the part modern conservatives cannot accept. Just because someone makes bad choices does not necessarily mean they will experience the consequences in this life. Sometimes they show up decades later, and sometimes, in a sick society like ours, vice gets rewarded for a very long time. If you actually want to fix this crisis, you have to start by fixing the incentives. This isn't some ancient pearl of wisdom, it's literally...
So, with him, I would say, if I could question him, what would you think, if you with the incentive, what would you think on incentives, on, like, I guess, Florida sin tax, when it comes to James Fishback? What would I would assume he would probably be a big proponent on it. I would too, honestly. Like, I don't like what they do, but like, if it's gonna be used to like help fund people in need, it's definitely not the cleanest money, but I'd rather put it towards that than like stupid things that won't ever go to anything, like fixing roads, teachers getting paid more, cops getting paid, especially if they're working in bad places, getting paid more. Of schools actually having things, people having nice funded water, people eating nice things in school, people having, if more or less, health care and stuff. There's a lot of things, that we could put money towards. If simps are gonna pay for it, shit, at least let's tax them. Let's start putting in money to the damn, you want to pay off the debt. If people gonna goon, let's make them pay for it.
Really just common sense. Before we get into that, I want to quickly remind you that Lungs of Faith is a one-man operation. It's just me. Videos like this take a huge amount of time to research, write, record, and edit, so if this channel has helped you think more deeply about these issues, and if you want to support the work, you can donate at buymeacoffee.com/lungsoffaith or through the PayPal link below. And if you want to go further, my supporters at $50 a month plus become producers of the channel and get direct input on future video topics. Your support is what helps me keep making these serious, in-depth videos on topics that most people, frankly, are too afraid to touch on. Now back to the plot. Just look at Sophie Ring. She has reportedly made tens of millions of dollars from OnlyFans while barely being out of her teenage years.
This is how much I'm actually making and no one believes me. So I'm on the site and you can see that I'm not faking anything. I'm going here. I will go to my statistics.
So with her, when it comes with the line, I'm going to put it like this because the glasses is kind of weighing them down. When it comes with the line, I think when people are calling it out, it's the fact that the there's a loophole how they do it allegedly. Like, don't even believe this. Like, I don't. This is not 100%. So it's all alleged that they allegedly hire, or not alleged. No, it's all allegedly. They get people. You know how Jack Doherty people on their streams, and it's all the girls, and you know their OnlyFans or in the videos. It's kind of like that, but they allegedly get the girls, and they sign up with like a link of some sort. It is it's an affiliate link type of thing, allegedly. They sign them up like that, and then they make 10%. So yeah, their monthly income looks like, or this yearly income looks like 80 million, but how much did you can make, like, depends on how many people she signs up with a link. She's pretty famous. You get all these famous people with your link, you get what, a percentage of their income? I don't know how much it is, but allegedly I heard that's how she did it. I don't know if that's true or not. Again, this is all alleged.
If it will load. And then this is the last 30 days. I'm going to hit all time. And these are the two. Like, so this is the gross.
There's just wow.
And then
of lonely men. And instead of being ashamed, they often become rich.
Going to school, man. Imagine your daughter goes to school and you got to pay for her to go to this class. She legit went to a school. Fuck.
Instead of being corrected, they become influencers. Instead of being treated as cautionary tales, they become success stories and end up teaching lectures at Harvard.
I brought an OnlyFans star to Harvard Business School's campus,
and by the way, I hate to be rude. This is what tells you why. Or this tells you why people like don't want to go to college, because imagine this is supposed to be the cool thing. You go to Harvard. I go to Harvard. Oh, what? So like, what class do you do? Oh, I had this one class where this corn star told us about their life. You're paying you're going to like almost generational debt for that? Harvard is losing its cred by doing this. And by the way, this is the most internet hypnosis thing in the world. And like they gotta film this. Like, this is disgusting.
Almost got expelled. I started following Ari Kitsia. I had no idea that she was on OnlyFans. I genuinely
Yeah, you did.
followed her because she was funny, beautiful, relatable. Once I learned more about her, I realized that this woman has...
Imagine this is your professor. Legit, like, this professor probably cares more about her social media presence than her presence in the school. I hate that rude.
Built an insane marketing funnel. She has 10 million subscribers across platforms, most of them women, and she's converted many of these women to paid content on OnlyFans, which is rare. So many students showed up to meet her.
Yo, the only thing I can say is may God have mercy on all of our souls, man, because what in the frick are we doing out here?
Can't make a career off hard work and honest effort like everyone else? Don't worry.
She graduated from university, and Alexia quickly grew tired of her minimum wage barista job, much as she loved it. So she stopped selling coffee and started selling her own sweat instead.
Yes, you heard that right. After an intense workout, Alexia bottles up jars of her own sweat and sells it to her fans online, which she says...
Hey, by the way, do y'all know when it comes to the PSYOP and stuff, when they show you all this, so the real PSYOP is they show you these millionaires, but when you do it, you only make $150 a month. That's the difference, right? That's the average. Right? When the multimillionaire, right, Sophie Rain does it, she makes $80 million a year. You make... Oops. You make what? Not even $2,000 a year. Go ahead and flip burgers at McDonald's, dude. I hate to be rude. Hey, dude, McDonald's is a lot more, morally, honestly, better to work for than OnlyFans.
Makes it up to £10,000 a week.
Even several Olympic athletes have joined OnlyFans to achieve financial independence and fund their demanding athletic careers.
And I feel like I have a dual personality. I'm a athlete.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. She's the worst athlete in the world.
At heart and a businesswoman by day. I had many.
Oh, athletes need to get paid more, dude. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't respect it. I wouldn't. What do you think? I don't think I could respect this. I couldn't.
Women role models growing up. My room was decked out in Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, no.
Marilyn Monroe.
She had this sense of using her beauty as a weapon.
Marilyn Monroe.
Get what she needed to get done, and I love that.
Now you might say, oh, well, they're gonna regret it when they're older. Maybe, maybe not, because it does not even necessarily end when they get older. Look at Shannon Elizabeth.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not unless they live. No, what's the suicide rates on those? Not trying to be rude, but yeah, it's not looking good, man.
Elizabeth. She was one of the major sex symbol actresses of the late 90s and early 2000s, and in her 50s, she launched an OnlyFans account. Reports said she earned more than 7 figures in her first week. So think about what that means. A woman can become famous as a sex symbol when she is young, spend decades being remembered through
Yeah, like, I hate to be rude. I don't believe when it comes to this OnlyFans numbers. Frankly, I don't believe them. They're all making. They're all. It's so like isn't it so like crazy how they're all just making $1 million in a week? Like that's the bare minimum. They're all I made $1 million. Already made $1 million this week. Yeah, I made $1 million overnight. Yeah, that's the playbook. Not believing that one bit. Don't lie to me.
Image, and then even in her 50s turn that residual male attention into a massive payday on a platform built around parasocial access. That is not consequences, that is a marketplace. So who's buying? Well.
Yeah, I've seen her pop up. What do y'all think about this?
What do we have here? The most
She's pretty
corrosive moral solvent eating away at society's remnant hope. Male simps. This behavior is everywhere, in way more places than we would like to admit.
The Lego meme people, you know what I'm talking about? Bro.
Movies,
Cornball.
Advertising, celebrity culture,
Golden
relationships, and even supposedly masculine spaces. Men have been trained to believe that having no boundaries, no authority, and no willingness to correct women is evidence that they are emotionally mature. But how did this happen? We'll get into that in a bit, but it's much darker than you think. But first, we need to start with the rise of the girl dad. And this post unironically gives us the true formula. Behind every spoiled little girl is a daddy who can't say no. Where's Child Protective Services when you actually need them? And most Christians today don't even realize that this is an antichrist way of raising your daughter. And we'll get to that in a little bit. And these are the celebrities that men look up to as manly guys. David Beckham.
Yeah, I don't look up to the damn Rock at all. I don't think he's a clown. Not in a rude way. It's just in a personal way how he acts. I think he's a clown. I legit think he's worthy to be laughed at. Because has he done some respectable things? Potentially, I don't know his lifestyle, but just the peak amount of lying and like bullshit contracts. He's like, I can't lose a fight. Yeah, but you can dress up with makeup, but God forbid you lose a fight. And then like all the lying he does, like, and he's just a walking billboard. He's not even real. He's probably the closest human to become an AI bot. He's, if not one of them, probably the first. He's a walking billboard. I don't think he can legit make a post without it being sponsored. Like, does he speak without making money? I don't know.
Openly admitted that he was stricter with his sons, but when it came to his daughter Harper, he had quote-unquote no power whatsoever. He said the entire family—
Dude, that used to be the other way around. What?
family is wrapped around her finger from the moment she was born. Shaquille O'Neal said his sons have to leave home when they become adults, while his daughters can remain as long as they want. Notice the pattern. The son is trained through pressure, independence, and consequences. Not saying that's bad, but the daughter is protected from those same consequences. He raises a consumer who expects the next—
Shaq's a giant freak walking around that literally might need to be locked up. He need to cut off his left hand and right hand figuratively. He's a freak, man, and I don't want to be rude. If y'all haven't seen those clips of him, he's getting outrageous. He's also a reason why people are into this goon and stuff, because I think he might be legit D1. He's the damn great, not the great. He's the freaking the giant, the giant bean, the green beanstalk giant. The giant goonstock giant, you know what I'm saying? He's a big giant gooner.
Next man to continue the worship service, and many men do continue the worship service. Now, an interesting piece of symbolism that's very common in these princess treatment trend videos on TikTok is a depiction of the man tying her shoes. According to this Nature peer-reviewed study, in classical art and vases, such as those from ancient Greece and Rome, tying someone's sandals visually established a rigid power dynamic, marking the person tending to the laces as a servant, captive, or subjugated individual. Do you think this symbolism is accidental, or do you think it's...
I'm gonna say, you want to see who's a real master? Let's both put up swords and see who dies. Like all this goofy shit, dude. Like this, like I get it was a thing, but like, come on, bro. You want to see who's a real master? All right, let's duel to the death. That's how you show who's a real master. One stand over someone's body.
Being utilized.
I'm getting weird.
This is a subversive message towards young men. But all we have to do is look at the consensus of the church fathers to know that Christianity is not a religion for simps, and that this idea that you can somehow be a feminist and a Christian is absolutely ludicrous.
Again, the typical watered down trad wife feminist. There's a lot of them popping up, and it needs to be deleted. It needs to be drone striked. Not them personally, but figurative the movement. Like, I hate to be rude, but what I've seen, the TPUSA, dude, go ahead. Not figuratively, not literally, right? We want the best for them. We want them to change their minds. But go ahead and drone strike that whole idea. Drone strike that idea.
St. Jerome said, "He who loves his wife too passionately is an adulterer." St. Jerome also said, "A wise man ought to love his wife with judgment, not with passion." And Sirach says, "Do not give your wife authority over you." Being a white knight is the opposite of virtue. Quote unquote, "Train and restrain her. Necessity is upon you. It is for this you are the head. Regulate her, therefore, do your own part. If she be a gossip, silence her." This is the very highest philosophy. Scripture does not tell fathers to make their wives and daughters feel like infallible princesses. The wisdom of Ben Sirach says plainly, "Do you have daughters? Keep them chaste and do not be indulgent to them." Elsewhere, he commands the father to, quote, "keep strict watch over a headstrong daughter." Because the truth is, men did not simply wake up one morning and decide to become timid, pornographic, and terrified of their own authority.
Yep. See, this is why I like his stuff, because he will go deep and he'll find it, dig it up, and like, bro, he's underrated, man.
A lot of people like to say that the sexual revolution happened because men wanted it, but that's not exactly what history tells us. Before the
And actually, when it comes to that, like when it comes to voting, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of women rights didn't win. Like, if I'm not mistaken, didn't. It was a lot. The reason why it was because, you know, big guys flooded in with some big money. And was like, yeah.
And so your psychologists and NGOs can reconstruct masculinity. The old world first had to be broken apart. The two world wars provided that perfect rupture. Millions of men were removed from their homes, subjected to industrialized slaughter, and returned wounded, displaced, or psychologically scarred. What was called, quote, shell shock after the First World War and, quote, combat fatigue after the Second did not remain on the battlefield. Men carried the effects back into their marriages, families, and communities. At home, governments reorganized entire societies around emergency production. Men were sent abroad while women were silently lured into factories, offices, and military auxiliaries with emotionally charged and manipulative propaganda. During the Second World War, roughly 3 million American women worked in war plants, while government propaganda deliberately presented industrial employment as patriotic womanhood. This was a propaganda-filled radical change that went unnoticed under the guise of necessity, but it changed women's attitudes, and for the first time, men were not part of their wives' decisions.
Why did I take a defense job? That's a funny question. I never thought of that before. Do you have to have a reason? We're in a jam, aren't we? I'm sorry, but you'll have to excuse me. I'm too busy to answer damn fool questions like that.
Fair.
But once institutions discovered that families, sex roles, labor, and education could be reorganized on a mass scale, the emergency precedent did not entirely disappear when the soldiers returned. The wars did not automatically cause feminism or the sexual revolution, but they provided an open door by weakening resistance, expanded the state, normalized mass propaganda, and demonstrated that institutions could rapidly redefine what men and women were expected to do. Then came the financiers. Rockefeller philanthropy became deeply involved in the new institutional world created around the wars. During the First World War, the Rockefeller Foundation spent approximately $22 million in that time's currency, which is way more now, on humanitarian relief, medical research, public health, and community welfare. During the Second, it funded refugee scholar programs, wartime health research, and projects explicitly concerned with reconstructing the post-war world. But why did they do this? Those same networks later entered sex research, population policy, and social engineering. This is where you need to pay attention. The Rockefeller Philanthropy funded the Committee for Research in the Problems of Sex, which financed Alfred Kinsey's work. And if you want to learn about just how disgusting but also influential this man was, I highly encourage you to watch one of these two videos I made, which go far more in depth. John D. Rockefeller the
See, I know there was some like gay dude that was definitely doing something sketchy, with kids.
Third, founded the Population Council and helped transform contraception, population reduction, and fertility management into respectable international policy. But much of this wasn't popular on the social scale.
Excuse me. Yeah. Hang on, madam. Don't walk around with that. Put something on, please.
And that's why you needed a bridge. Then came Hugh Hefner. Hefner did not merely sell images of naked women, he used the fortune generated by commodifying women's bodies to support legal challenges against traditional sexual restraints. As he openly declared, Playboy is the antidote to Puritanism. But the progressive simp was not always a lonely young man buying photographs. Sometimes he was an enormously wealthy man using male resources to dismantle the sexual boundaries previous generations of men had been responsible for defending. And more importantly, Christianity. Take it from the horse's mouth. Al Goldstein, the father of modern pornography, says it himself. The only reason that Jews are in pornography is because we think that Christ sucks. We don't believe in authoritarianism. Pornography therefore becomes a way of defiling Christian culture. And as it penetrates to the very heart of the American mainstream, its subversive character becomes more charged. Then intellectuals supplied the mythology. Terence McKenna is an important person to understand. He portrayed the male ego, patriarchal monotheism, and the supposedly rigid masculine order of civilization as forces that should be dissolved into a more intuitive, feminized consciousness. Over the next decades, it became normalized through media, and eventually psychology supplied the clinical vocabulary.
Propaganda!
The APA's 2018 Guidelines for Psychological Practice with Boys and Men explicitly addressed quote-unquote traditional masculinity ideology as inherently harmful. But it gets even more insane, because the boundaries they're trying to push aren't just limited to sex. Several feminist, UN, and NGO initiatives now promote quote gender transformative programs that encourage boys and men to take on more caregiving, domestic chores, and emotional labor to achieve equality.
And the crazy thing, they never do it's like, men stay home and while women go work and do everything. No, you pay for everything and you clean everything. Golly, you've been sold a lie, and I don't know how you fell for it, but it must suck, dude.
These often frame traditional male roles, such as breadwinner, being less involved at the home, as part of a patriarchal harm that needs re-socialization. For example, Bogota, Colombia's Care School for Men, government program teaching men diaper changing, cooking and cleaning, etc. Campaigns for boys to do housework equality with girls, share care.
Yeah, but that's something number one, at the end of the day, something, obviously, if you have kids and stuff like that when you live on your own, that's something you're gonna need to do. But that's something you can learn at home. You can't learn how to fucking cook a meal.
Work and reject stereotypes. Tips include involving boys in cooking and cleaning from young ages and promoting quote feminist child rearing. Programs like Men Engage and Program P engage men in fatherhood and so-called anti-violence via caregiving training. Initiatives in places like Rwanda, in India, and elsewhere train men and boys in quote unquote maternal skills to challenge norms. Of course, right in line with where America plans to bring immigrants from. Funny how that works. We have to rethink the idea of freedom. The deeper change was not merely that feminism encouraged women to choose careers over children. It changed what a woman was understood to be in relation to the household. Here's what I mean. Under the old legal order, a daughter existed beneath the authority and protection of her father until she was married, and marriage transferred that into a new household governed by her husband. Under coverture, husband and wife were not treated as two entirely independent economic actors negotiating against one another. They formed one legal household. This is usually summarized by progressive polemicists by saying that, oh, well, women were just property, the same way that this glass of water is property, but that is crude and very inaccurate. But it does gesture towards a new idea that was completely foreign to the old world and instrumental in changing the public's perception of marriage in order to help this chaos unravel. The presupposition that relationships were no longer structured and hierarchical, but rather viewed through a quote-unquote oppressor and oppressed lens, where of course...
See, I mean, like, regardless of the fact if you disagree or agree with his opinion, looking at this old footage is just crazy. I mean, I like to see, you know, what stuff was like back in the day.
Of course, the husband's the oppressor and the wife is the oppressed. And politicians at the time openly warned that separating the legal and economic interests of husband and wife would not simply correct isolated abuses. It would alter the nature of marriage itself. Member of Parliament Henry Cecil Raikes warned that this measure would, quote, disturb the peace of every family and, quote, destroy forever that identity of interest between husband and wife, which he regarded as the basis of the Christian family. He specifically objected that the wife would retain the sole control of her property while the husband remained legally obligated to support the household, creating not equality but separate rights combined with unequal responsibilities. At this point, you could argue that marriage in the eyes of the law is not marriage at all, because they abolished the Christian definition, which is man and a woman cleaving to one another to form one new body. Now, I'm not arguing that coverture was perfect. That was the Pandora's box. If autonomy is the highest principle, every permanent duty begins to look like oppression. Even Plato predicted this. Plato's argument is that democracy does not merely loosen political authority. It trains the soul to regard every hierarchy and every desire as equally legitimate. Parents fear their children, teachers flatter students, rulers imitate subjects, and restraint itself begins to look oppressive. Society becomes simultaneously permissive and unstable, sexually disordered, hostile to correction, and governed by impulse and emotions.
This is what I'm telling you. He's underrated. He's giving you knowledge. If you did not see this far, you're missing out on good knowledge.
So where does this actually leave us now, and what do I think is the solution? The truth is, I don't think there's an easy answer to that, and anyone who has an easy answer, I think, is just grifting. Because this is not ultimately a dating problem. It's a problem with our presuppositions as modern people. Listen, everybody has a worldview.
With me, I think there might, be a pendulum swing that might be slightly swinging back to Christianity. But at the end of the day, I would say, if you want the best result of this, do your best to literally just try to find the environment of it. Like, at the end of the day, if you want a girl that's, more or less, I guess, Christian, I mean, try to find her at church, Bible study, all that, whatever, all that jazz, whatever you do. Hey, honestly, then, like, outside the club or something else, wherever you'd like to do, or whatever other things you do, try to find them in places you like, because at the end of the day, do I think there's going to be a mass change? Probably not. I'm just going to be real. Probably not. Do I think there's a bigger change to it? Yeah. I think people who like the more or less watered down version of it, but again, disagree or agree in the comments below.
All of us do. None of us can,
or anyone in chat, let me know,
can say that we somehow neutrally interpret data. We all interpret data according to our existing worldviews and presuppositions, but those can't just be any presuppositions. They actually need to be coherent and justifiable for the rest of our worldview and provide an explanation for the very reality that we live in. Under atheistic naturalism, which is, I would argue, our modern world general sort of working ethos, what men and women are doing right now makes...
Is it? I think with the majority, maybe, I don't know.
It's perfect sense, and you have to be willing to admit that. Why?
I haven't looked really. All right, let's watch. Sorry.
Atheistic naturalism, which is, I would argue, our modern world general sort of working ethos, what men and women are doing right now makes perfect sense, and you have to be willing to admit that. Why should a man marry when he sees promiscuity being rewarded, paternal authority abolished, divorce available without fault, and male obligation enforced without corresponding female duty? Why should a woman not sleep around in her youth, restrict her sexual options, bear children, and submit herself to household responsibilities when the culture offers money, attention, career status, and an easy exit?
Well, with the other one, I could say I agree with, but again, like, you got it, bro. You gotta marry the right girl. Like, you can't just marry, I don't know, someone that you think is attractive. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, take it slow. Like, you gotta put her in certain environments. Not like torture test her, but like you go, like, go to restaurants, go out in public and see how she acts under stressful things, and see if you can legit live with her. I mean, live your life, with her and raise children. Because at the end of the day, like, some people will, like, slightly know them, sleep with them, get them pregnant, then marry them. It's like, dude, do I think that's gonna work out the majority of times? No, I don't think that is, like, statistically proven. I don't think that is. Yeah, I might be wrong. Like, why take that risk, bro? But it is, like, at the end of the day, like, we're saying all this, but it is harder nowadays. Like, regardless of the fact, everything is so much harder if you want to find someone that's Christian. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, there's some of them that are like the watered down trad wife that they want their cake and eat it too. But it's like, fuck, man. Like, it's you're gonna have to find the 1%. Well, I don't know if it's the 1%, but I'm using this as like a talking point, right? You're gonna have to find the 1%, and are you gonna find it? I don't know. Hope for the best, right? Hope that we all could find the 1% good, but we'll see. The watered down trad wife,
which requires half the effort and more immediate pleasure. And with all of these immoral technologies such as in vitro fertilization, women are having children at later and later ages. So if human beings are merely evolved animals, we come from monkeys. Morality is a social construct and existence has no final purpose, then maximizing pleasure while minimizing obligation is entirely rational, and we should all just chimp out, eat bananas, swing from branches, and be a bunch of hedonistic degens like our political elite and ruling class. If we want to throw away metaphysics, if we want to throw away Christianity, if we want to stop taking the book of Genesis literally and we replace Adam and Eve with fictional characters or just some metaphor, and we forget the reasons why God created man and woman, where God created man to his image and authority through headship, he created woman as man's fitting helper to become one flesh with him and together ascend towards holiness and communion with God, then I think we forfeit the very justification for marriage. Without those presuppositions, I don't think we can really make a good coherent argument for why marriage.
I think the majority of people that live their life are under internet hypnosis. They live in the internet life, or it's like they only desire things that are like internet stuff. At the end of the day, like, come on, we can look at it. The people who, like, the reason why people do that, we can look at it. I mean, what Megan Thee Stallion, there is a TikTok video, I've seen it, of her rapping, and someone clipped it up of her music, and it was the damn near same lyric, same type of music every single time, and it's like, that is, bro, if you don't think you listen to that for like a year, you're a fan of her, and you listen to damn near the exact same thing for a year straight, and you might not want to go do it. I don't know, man. Right? I feel like a lot of that stuff is straight programming and making you hypnotized, bro. I mean, that like, not do like a magic wise, but like, I'm just giving it a name of these people that are like legit or living these like Instagram lifestyles. Not like, like, kind of, but like,
is good, because the most pleasurable thing is not always the most beneficial thing for our souls, and to desire to do a less pleasurable thing in favor of a higher metaphysical truth must be grounded in metaphysics, and to have metaphysics, at least coherent metaphysics, I would argue you need the Christian God, with the monarchy of the Father, with the orthodox doctrine of the Trinity, and the essence-energy distinction. Marriage is not a vacation from asceticism, it is asceticism. That is why you cannot discern this alone.
Do you want the ring, or do you want the celebration? Or do you want the marriage? You pick. Oh, I want the celebration and I want to post it on TikTok.
No YouTube checklist that can replace a spiritual father, a priest, a bishop, or a holy monastic, or somebody who knows your soul, your passions, your weaknesses in your life. But marriage is a holy path to salvation, and if it is truly your path, you cannot black pill yourself out of obedience to God because the modern world made the institution dangerous. We just have to be sober. I think marriage can bring absolutely amazing blessings, and young people should get married. And there's ways of...
I mean, at the end of the day, if people don't want to do it, bro, why don't you be the I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm not like... With my lifestyle and how I want to do, at the end of the day, I am changing through my stuff. I'm trying to get better, get on the right path of things. So, you know, I'm not old, so I actually have like legit time to go change. I guess it's perfect time to do it, and I'm glad I'm waking up and actually doing it. And like, I think with people that like have the like opinions like me and him who would like agree with this, men, women, like, dude, okay, if the majority aren't gonna have kids, I'm gonna have kids. I don't care about this internet lifestyle. I'm gonna live the lifestyle I want to live. Like, live your life, and then they're gonna see, oh my gosh, the only people having kids are the Christians, right? Influx of Christian children, right? So like, they can go do whatever you want to do. You can, at the end of the day, again, if it's a personal thing you want to do, don't want this damn internet stuff. It's this, it's that, bro. Have your children if you want. It's easier. Sorry, it's easier said than done, but you know.
Mitigating this, some people like Andrew Wilson have proposed certain ideas of not getting married.
What the hell does he know about having children? His wife literally didn't even have his own children.
Dangerous. We just have to be sober.
Not in a rude way. Like, I don't want to diss him. It's just like, bro, like, your wife had, maybe they had one child. I don't know. They met at 35 years old. He might have a child. I don't know. But like, what are you talking about, dude?
I think marriage can bring absolutely amazing blessings, and young people should get married. And there's ways of mitigating this. Some people like Andrew Wilson have proposed certain ideas of not getting married in the state and just getting civil marriage and only in ecclesia.
It's like, dude, what are you talking about? I the reason why I can't not like take him serious is just like what's been going on in the past week. It's like, of him, like, I don't know the whole lore of it, but what I know, it's like, dude, it's kind of clowny. It's like, how am I supposed to like, I hate to be rude, and the people that don't like him, you have some disagreements. Me personally, I've seen his arguments. I've seen him before on the whatever podcast. I'm not saying I fully hate him, but it's like, he's not the best guy, man. I hate to be rude. Honestly, do I fully disagree with everything? No. I think me and him probably agree on the majority, more or less. I would say it could be like a 40, 45. No, it could be like a 50 something. No, let's be real. It's probably, honestly, what is he, a Christian? I think. Conservative, Republican, I don't know. Let's say maybe like a 75, 80, 90%. But like, dude, some of the things I've seen and from what it all, it's like you're shaky, man. I'm not gonna fully take all my chips away, but you're definitely shaky.
Ecclesiastical marriage through the church, but I know that's not legal everywhere. The reality is, though, if you marry into a traditional community like Orthodoxy, your statistics for divorce.
Oh, dude, look at Protestants. Look at Protestant, dude. That's so obvious, bro. Because, like, I hate to be rude, I'm just an observer, I could say. I think the majority. Oh my gosh, I'm not better. I think the majority of people in like the Protestants in the mega churches are lukewarm, very lukewarm, and they produce straight lukewarmness. I'm sorry. Like, again, do I have to play this video? Should I? I'm gonna show you exactly. Again, this is just one example, so like, she's not she's just one example, but you see this a lot. I'm gonna play it. You'll see it. Give me about 1 second.
Significantly drop. It's never going to be zero. This is the reality. We are living through another flood. You can remain out.
And also, it's like, there's they cheat on you and stuff, so it's like, there's differences, so it's not like, it's all. So it's not, there's always differences of things. It's not like they always, ended something horrible.
Side, endlessly diagnosing the water.
They just divorce you for no reason, sorry.
That rises, or you can enter the ark of repentance and salvation that is the Orthodox Church. Orthodoxy does not promise an easy marriage, but it reveals what marriage is for, and I think that is fundamentally the question that needs to be answered before we can even.
Dude, give me 1 second.
Get to changing laws and having this broader discussion. And Orthodoxy gives us in society the only coherent understanding capable.
Yo, I'll find it. Let me find it before I do it. Go back. Sorry, I didn't hear.
Diagnosing the water as it rises, or you can enter the ark of repentance and salvation that is the Orthodox Church. Orthodoxy does not promise an easy marriage, but it reveals what marriage is for, and I think that is fundamentally the question that needs to be answered before we can even get to changing laws and having this broader discussion. And Orthodoxy gives us in society the only coherent understanding capable of making the pains and sacrifices of marriage actually meaningful. So until next time, this is Lungs of Faith, and as always, don't negotiate with terrorists.
Fair. I cannot find it, dude. I can't find it. Alright, well, I can't find it. But if you go back to, I think it was the video with Sister Faith, if I'm not mistaken. The hell did I just click? Yeah, it's on there. It was the biggest switch up on your life. She was like, oh, I gotta address the inner before I address the out, whatever. Went to Bible study, went to like a religious hair service or hair place, got her nails done, whatever, and then she went out drinking with her home, her boyfriends or friends that are guys, dancing. Yeah. Nope. I had many arguments with my wife because I've held her and my daughters accountable. I don't accept her for... Oh, I don't have any excuses for bad behavior. That's fair. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know if I would really want to argue with you about it. It's like, fix yourself or I fix it. No, imagine. Fix yourself or I fix it for you. It's your major malfunction, woman. Stupid woman. No, imagine. But, like, I'd be like, I wouldn't really want to argue. I mean, if it's blatantly wrong, it's like, I wouldn't really want to argue. That's a waste of my time. Dads, fathers who raise them like princesses are absolutely the worst. They raise monsters who get away with everything and demand, or anything and demand everything. Yes. Feminism did not spoil women. It exposed them, sometimes quite literally. Yeah. Call her daddy's absolute horrible. Yes, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one. If a man can control his lust, he's undefeated. Yes, this is what I tell people. I mean, it's hard to do. You gotta try to master it, man. You gotta try to. Even the strongest man, Samson, was weak to the flesh. If you can overcome the flesh, you are stronger than Samson. Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's nothing you should try to go head on, like what he said, the church father says. It's nothing you should even try to attempt. Run from it. Try your best to overcome it, because it's hard. Your mom used to tell me I was wrong before she ever heard my side of the story. I've heard that a lot, yeah. May Lord have mercy on us. I agree with you on that, man. TVs and phones raised these child. Dad was busy working. What are your thoughts? I would say that could be true. That could be true. Yeah. That could be true. Women would publicly shame men who don't want to go to war, then they will send their husbands Dear John letters. They were suffering through a horrible war psychosis madness. Well, the thing is, yeah, and then they get while they're in the trenches, by the way, they get their one letter. I unfortunately accidentally cheated on you. I will have to be divorcing you. Yeah. You said you need one person to go past enemy lines right now? Yep. That's gonna be me. Alright, this will be the last one we'll read. The women on Call Her Daddy podcast are utterly insufferable. I would say I fully agree with you on that one. I would 100% agree with you. It's like, no way. I don't know if people that have an IQ over the temperature in Antarctica right now, are watching that. Wait, I don't know if the people... Did I say that right? I don't know if I said it right or not. I might have the low IQ, but I sure don't have a low enough IQ to watch that shit. That shit would do it. That's literally torture. Like, I think your ears should fall off your head if you listen to that for 4 hours straight, or how long that podcast are. If you're an avid listener to the Call Her Daddy podcast, give me one reason why. And if it's a good enough reason, I will listen to it for 24 hours straight.